Good morning and welcome back, guys. Let me introduce Michaela, my fiance. She's a registered nurse, has been for a few years now, and she specializes in cardiac. I think she'll have a lot of really interesting views on some of these questions. I picked a few of them specifically for her.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
It's not that bad. Everyone said the same thing. At the end of this, I'd like to hear what your opinions are. What are your thoughts on these questions? What's your take? Because I know I can't cover everything in this, no matter how exhaustive I want to be. And if you haven't yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I release new content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Manliness Mondays, Philosophy Wednesdays, and Project Video Fridays. And I really need to come up with a better name for that. How would humanity change if all humans' life expectancy was significantly increased? Say 500 years.
How would humanity change?
Yes.
Would it be humanity itself, like what you define as humanity, like empathy and sympathy and love and hate, or would it be societal as humanity?
Personally, I think they're both the same. They're one and the same.
That's really difficult because societies are so variable and different. Like, you go from Napa to Brooklyn, and society is completely different.
There's a lot of changes in society, but basic human society is the same across the globe.
I want to disagree with you on that. I really want to disagree with you on that.
Well, think about it. You grow up, you go through puberty, you mate, you grow old, generally you take care of the young, and then you die.
That's not humanity.
Yeah, but all of society is variations on those themes. Personally, I think people would lose a lot of their empathy. People wouldn't have children so young unless it was a biological imperative.
Oh no, people would definitely not have children that young, as young as we do now.
I think it would be...
Could you imagine the fertility theories that come out, though? How, like, women lose half their fertility by the time they hit 35. Be like, women lose half their fertility by the time they hit 350 years. Biological clock is ticking, folks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, seriously, though, that would be a thing.
So, as far as humanity changing, I believe we would need to find better ways for living and housing, because the number of people would boom exponentially. We would have not just overpopulation, we would be saturated with people.
I don't know if we would be.
I think we still would be, because you still have those crazies preaching against contraception.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think people would take more of a long view on things and maybe have kids 50 years apart.
That's if you can choose to have kids, though. What if women are still fertile for the first 500 years? I mean, if you're going to extend the average human life from 70 to 80 years to 580 years, wouldn't that make the proportion of each life change, not life change, but the proportion of each stage in life longer?
Yeah, no, the elderly would be a problem, is because, the longer you live. Now, that also raises something interesting. We're assuming that our life would be changed proportionally.
Yes.
What if it's not?
How you have one, like, you lived your first 50, 60 years as normal, and then you're just elderly until you die?
Well, what if you're, biologically, you're a teenager for your teenage years, and then you're only fertile until you're 50 or 60, and then your body would just slowly decay over the next 400 some years.
I think it would be really interesting to see the magazine headlines. How to take 150 years off your face.
Oh, think of the makeup ads. Jeez.
Not the makeup ads. Thinking of the makeup that we would have for 500 years of aging.
I took 200 years off in 2 weeks. Let me show you how.
Doctors are mad at her for this. She's 800 years old.
Doesn't look a day over 4. But seriously, that would just change things altogether too.
To have... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So your prime is still your prime. Like, when would you retire? And while you do take such a long view on most things, let's say the last 100 years is your retirement. So you have 400 years to save for 100 years. That's a way different equation than you have 20 years of working viability to save for 10 or 15 years of retirement.
Would our government be in better shape or worse shape because they're paying out Social Security for 100 years instead of 20 years at most? Or would it be in better shape because you're working for 400 years?
I think in that view, it would be in better shape, but
I don't know.
Those politicians would also be in power for much longer.
Oh, no. That takes the whole game off. No.
You just ruined the there's the rabbit hole there.
That's the no. That's the no.
Because if you think about it, how corrupt do lifetime politicians get now? And they're only down there for 30 years, 40 years.
Oh my goodness, you make it sound like a drop in the bucket.
It would be. Think about 300 years of being in office.
I think people would be much more for term limits.
Oh God, I would hope so.
They should advocate for term limits, please. No, that would be horrible to have the same government in power, because you could still die at any time. So there would still be people living these short, dangerous lives for governments to just use as pawns.
Think of going through primary school for 30 years.
I would like primary school. I enjoy nap time. Naps and and coloring books. I would like primary school.
40 years of secondary school.
Oh, well, that's not so much. I'd stay in primary school. Just fail me. Just keep me back there.
6 years of high school algebra.
I liked algebra.
I did too.
Algebra algebra wasn't that bad. Now, trigonometry, that was rough.
There's another 6 years for you.
Trig was rough.
There's 6 years of trig.
No, I only did one semester, and I barely passed, and I was like, there we go. That's the feather in my hat.
But think about that, how much school would change too.
I feel like high school doesn't concentrate on the things you need to learn to survive. If high school is training you for college, but only 20% of kids from high school go to college. I don't know what the true statistic is. I just pulled that one because out of my head. But you're training only 20% of students for college. You're training 80% of students for nothing. You're not training them at all. And high school I feel public school should be training you for how to do well in life. You should know how to write a check. You should know how to write a professional letter. You should know how to set up a resume. You should know how to do your taxes by yourself, balance a checkbook, save, budget. And I think that might improve with something like that, with a longer lifespan.
At that point, you could mandate that everyone learn a trade as well while in school, and you would have time to do that.
And specialize. Because forcing kids to pick something a career that they've probably never been.
Maybe at that point they would be 30.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense.
Or 20.
Instead of 18 and still a teenager and change their majors several times because they really don't know what they want to do. And that's fine, not to know what you want to do, but it sucks that society forces us to choose what we want to do when we're still kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I really didn't have myself together until I was about 25. As like an adult, knowing where I'm going in life. And some days I still don't.
We could go on forever about that 500 years. Because we
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
even touch empathy, sympathy, the elderly, the bodies, like dead bodies, how we would bury them, how we would... We didn't touch any of that.
Yeah, there's a lot that we can go over.
Healthcare. Huh, there's so many topics we could have covered in there.
So, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you coming out every day for these philosophy videos. As you know, this is just part of my challenge, my personal challenge, and so far it's going great. It's actually kind of cool seeing your responses. So, if you do have any responses, please let me know. It's fun having a back and forth with some of you in the comment section because it is cool seeing everyone come together as a community.
It is.
And actually discuss these things because it's fun. So it is really cool seeing everyone pull together as a community, and it's a ton of fun. So please, again, hit me up in the comments section on what you guys think about these questions. What is your point of view? Any of that. It's really cool. And again, if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously. Unfortunately, YouTube, I just got the email last night. YouTube is kicking me out of the partnership program. So if you guys are able to, I'd really appreciate even $1 a month at my Patreon. There'll be a link somewhere at the end. And if not, it's in the description below. I really want to keep doing this for you guys as long as possible. I really believe that my purpose in life is to teach people. Whether that's how to be a better man with my Manliness Mondays, or teach them something about themselves with questions about philosophy, or teach it how to build a bloody shelf. I believe that the best way to make this world better is teaching people how to do things for themselves. How to think for yourself, how to present yourself better, how to build things for yourself and improve your own life. That's really the name of the game. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you. As the time of filming this, there's 169 subscribers. Just the thought of that is awesome and terrifying at the same time. I'm speaking to her lecture hall every morning, every day. I'm speaking to her lecture hall. Oh, that's because I only have 4 minutes left. So, as terrifying as this is, thanks for watching, guys. It's really awesome. Remember, stay thoughtful. I'll see you next time.